every Saturday night. We're calling out matchups, fighting for the highlight. Let's run, log on, whole season on the line. Winners keep riding, losers trying not to get left behind. Ride or die live, hey! Reporting news to the groove. Game of the week and best player stats. Relegation on your mind, from kickoff till the final drive. You win, you ride, you lose, you slide. It's ride or die live, ride or die live. Ride or die.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Ride or Die Live. Just gonna do a recap video of how everything's going through week 2. Now currently in week 3, but games just started for this one yesterday, so won't go too much into details as to what happened yesterday or today, but maybe we'll talk about it a little bit, but we'll see. Just going to go over current power rankings and how current conference standings are going. So we'll go through the conferences right now. Looks like the American, I'm sorting this by conference wins as the first priority because that's really what you're wanting more than your regular season wins or losses are your conference wins. You win your conference, you move up. So if you sort it that way, Old Dominion's currently at the top of the American. They beat East Carolina. Looks like 28-21. Both teams have 2 wins. Followed up by Marshall, who's got a win, but not in conference. Then we got 2 wins for Buffalo, computer team. I know their defense is one of the better ones in this conference, so they might be a tough out. Got 1-1 with Navy and Charlotte, and 1-3 with UMass. Hopefully Sky can get things turned around with them. With that, we'll move on. Let's take a look at the Conference USA. No conference games played yet, but if we sort it by regular wins and losses, we got 3 teams at 3-0. That's pretty good. UL Monroe, Louisiana Tech, Louisiana. Rice is 3-1. They had a computer loss to, I believe, Wake Forest. UTEP's 2-2. Missouri is 1-1. Missouri State and Sam Houston is 1-2. I played Jody last night. It was a good game. So hopefully he can start getting some more wins coming up. To the MAC. No conference games played yet, but again, if we sort regular season wins, losses. Bowling Green's got 4-0. Central Michigan 2-1. Computer Akron's 1-1. Ball State 2-2. Eastern Michigan 2-2. Kent State 1-1. Ohio 1-2. I know him and Rice played today, and Rice got the win. Northern Illinois is 1-2. Let's take a look at the Mountain West. I'm not winning by conference wins. Brandon, Hawaii is winning by conference wins at 2-0. 2-1 regular record. Wyoming, Jason's 1-0. He beat me, so he is above me. Overall 2-1. I am 0-1 in conference, but 3-1 record-wise. It's a better start than I expected, so I'll take it. Air Force, Jeremy also has a loss in conference, so he is 2-1. New Mexico State has not won any games, 0-3 overall and 0-1 in conference. Tim's got a 1-1 record. I believe he's trying to play either tonight or tomorrow, his game this week. Nevada's 1-2, and San Jose State Charlie currently 0-2. Let's take a look at the Sun Belt. Got Kennesaw State 2-0, 4-0 overall. He's looking pretty good. Georgia State's 0-1, 0-2. Florida International 0-1, 1-2. South Alabama 3-0 regular season. Coastal's 0-3. Georgia Southern 1-2. Southern Miss 0-3. Middle Tennessee is 2-1. Computer, I'm guessing that's probably some FCS wins. Let's take a look at the bigger conferences and see how they're looking. So currently, ACC Appalachia, Liberty's on top. 1-1 conference record. 2-0 overall with App State. Nothing crazy here yet. ACC Metro, Penn State's already got a loss at 1-1. No conference losses yet though, so again, nothing crazy here. Let's look at the Big 12. Oklahoma State, Missouri, LSU's all got conference wins. They obviously beat Kansas State, and Tulsa. Nothing much else to look at here. Lone Star, Texas, undefeated, 3-0 overall, 1-0 in conference. Texas State has lost 2 conference games and 3 games overall. Who did? Oh, they both beat Texas State. Okay, got it. All right. Looking at the Big Ten. Iowa's got a conference win, 1-1. Michigan's 1-0 and then 2-0. Nothing else to write home about here. Notre Dame's currently undefeated. 2 wins in conference. Okay. Against the easy schools. That's about right. Indiana's 2-0. Ohio State's 2-0. Louisville's 2-0. I imagine one of these teams might be dropping depending on who wins the MAC. Let's look at the Pac-12. Oregon 1-0, 2-0. Same with Colorado. Washington, who did they lose to? Oh, they lost to Washington State. Rivalry game, Apple Cup. So that's where Washington State's win came from. Boise State and Utah State each have a loss in conference. Pac-12 Southwest. Not much crazy going home here either. I imagine we're going to start seeing some upsets though. I have this same setup in a couple other solo leagues I do and see some crazy games sometimes. Speaking of which, that means Florida Atlantic either had to beat Florida or Georgia Tech. And they beat Florida. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's a big upset there. Florida Atlantic 22-17 over Florida. I imagine we will see some more upsets. Obviously means Florida State beat Georgia Tech. My Gamecocks are 1-0. Miami's 2-0. Clemson's 2-0. I hope they lose. That's it for the conferences themselves. Let's take a look at Heisman standings right now. Surprised to see Winston Malone of South Alabama already up on the list this early in the season, but doing it with a freshman, that's crazy. 261 rushing will do it though. 3 touchdowns against Central Michigan. Big game. I imagine he's had a couple other big games if he's already on the Heisman list, so I'd like to see somebody from the league win always, so hopefully that happens. We'll see how that goes. Let's take a look at some stats. Alright, so I'll look at the national stats here. Passing yards. We got anybody? Oh, Curry Brown Rice is up there. FIU's got a guy up there. Wyoming, Jason throwing the rock around. Okay. NIU's got a guy. Marshall. Bowling Green. Let's look at TDs. Passing TDs. My brother and Bowling Green, Tucker both have 10 apiece. Rice has got 9. That's Ed. Jason's got 9. Much as he complains about wide receivers not catching the ball, he's throwing a lot of touchdowns. I know like 6 of them were against me, so we'll see if he throws a bunch against somebody else. Looks like Kansas State's got 8. Yellow Monroe's got 8. UMass with 7. Marshall with 6. NIU with 6. He's done much picks. Ooh, damn. 10 and 7, leading the TDs and interceptions. So Tucker's throwing the rock around. ODU's got 7 picks. Sam Houston's got 7 picks. He had 6 against me, so he was looking pretty decent prior to that. Looks like Rice has got 4. Ohio's got 4. Or damn, Ohio's got 8. You must have swapped QBs out. It's like Navy's got 4. Hawaii's got 3. Trying to my best not to throw a bunch, so trying to limit how many I do. He's got the best completion percentage. Oh, that's one guy. I have guys who are actually throwing a decent amount. I guess you'd say 83%. I'd actually probably say Hawaii out of the league so far. He's had a lot of throws. 75% is pretty good. He's got the highest QB rating. Whoa! My boy Haas out of the league, he's got the highest QB rating. He don't really throw a lot, so that's kind of surprising. Connor Harrell's up there. I hate playing this dude when he's a computer. I know Zach has him, but man, he lights me up as a computer. Jarrett Flood. Yeah, Hawaii's quarterbacks up here. It's got 2 quarterbacks up here. Alright, let's look at some rushing numbers. Yeah, Winston Malone, Heisman list. He's already at the top. 612 yards in 3 games, averaging about 200 yards a game. That's pretty damn good. Duval from Air Force, he's going to be up there all year long as he doesn't get hurt. I know how Jeremy plays. Man, we got a lot of guys up here. The whole league's at the top of the board. I like to see that. Small schools doing the good stuff. Ball State's got 10 TDs running. Winston Malone's got 9. Rice. Georgia Southern, okay. Everybody's running the ball. Yeah, 204 a game, that's crazy. He's got the biggest plays. Air Force with 10, Jesus Christ. I don't know if I'll have 10 all season. Broken tackles. Don't imagine we got too many guys up here. Our running backs aren't that good. Yeah, it's not looking like it. Anybody got the longest play? Ohio, 88 yard. Yeah, that's a big run. Missouri State's got a big one. Coastal's got a big one. All right, look at receiving numbers. Or no, that's not Eastern Michigan. 433. Third with yards with my tight end. I know everybody's surprised about that one. Also another tight end, Georgia Southern up there. Charlotte 49ers. East Carolina guy. He's got most TDs. And Prosper's looking pretty good. Imagine he won't be on that team. Oh, he's a senior. He'll graduate. Popovich with Wyoming with 5. Juice with 4. Barnes with 4. 85 overall. That's a pretty good receiver. Nick Trujillo. Barry Jackson Jr. 3. He's got the longest 90. That was probably against me too. Another 90. '84. Anybody got a lot of drops? These 4 drops came against me. That was my game. I felt bad. That guy dropped every pass that went his way. We got a lot of guys at the top of this list, I imagine. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Got any defensive stars? Let's look at. I don't think our time is enough for us to get the most tackles. That guy's got a lot. UTEP, UMass, ODU. No, I was wrong. UMass got 29. UTEP 27. ODU 25. FIU 25. Well, I'm curious as to how many of these are user controlled or just a good player on your defense. Tackles for a loss. UMass got a pretty good D to be 1-3. Sacks. My old squad, Delaware. I like to see the Delaware doing good. Don't see much here. Let's look at INTs. Bowling Green's got 3. UTEP's got 3. UMass with 2. Rice with 2. Any touchdowns? Bowling Green, UTEP, NIU, UMass. Fumbles. Got one of my guys. Georgia Southern guy. Kick blocks. Oh, Ball State's got one. Safeties. Nobody from ours. Kick return stuff. Ooh, damn. Bowling Green going for the Jet Award. So he's got 2 touchdowns. Hawaii's got 1. UMass has got 1. Yale Monroe, Marshall. That's it for the league. How about punt returns? UL Monroe's got one. Alright, that's about it for stats. Let's look here. So, games that got played this week so far, this advance. Bowling Green got the win 42-35 over UTEP. They moved to 4-0, UTEP 2-2. Old Dominion got the conference win 28-21 over East Carolina. They're now 2-2. East Carolina 2-1. Ball State smacked North Dakota State 56-7. That's a big win. That's in our league a Big Ten opponent, so that's a good quality win there. Out of conference game. It looks like FAU must be playing right now. See what the result of that is later tonight. Like I mentioned earlier, Ohio and Rice played this morning. Looks like Rice came out 49-28. They're 3-1 now. Ohio's 1-2. Me and Jody, Sam Houston played last night. That game was tight through 3.5 quarters. It was 14-14, and I just got a lot of turnovers and ran the ball really well in the fourth somehow and pulled that one out. So I was happy to get that win. I was struggling most of that game. This game was a really good game. It was closer than the score appeared. He pulled away there at the end, but yeah, 42-28. Hawaii over Air Force. They might play again down the line in the conference championship. I don't know. We'll see. That's a good game. Looks like Kennesaw State scrapped by Georgia Tech. That is another good quality win. Georgia Tech's obviously big time program. In our league, that counts in the SEC. But yeah, you beat an SEC school. That's always good for your program. So I'm sure that's going to help his recruiting. 4-0 now at Kennesaw State. And looks like Sky lost a 1-pointer to Eastern Michigan. I know Eastern Michigan put somebody else. They almost beat somebody else too. Who was that? Let's see who that was. I want to say it was Eastern Michigan. They must have a good offense. Maybe it's not Eastern Michigan. Yeah, it was. 51 against UL Monroe. I know J. Ron can play, so Eastern Michigan's offense must be pretty damn good. I don't think they're on my schedule. I hope they're not, because my defense is terrible. But unfortunately, Sky got the loss there, 31-30. I think that might be it for games that's been played so far. Yep. Let's run through each conference, see what kind of good games we got this week. Pittsburgh-Syracuse rivalry game, that's a good one. West Virginia. That's about it here. American, looks like Central and Charlotte still got to play. I know they've been communicating, so we'll see how that goes. Who wins that one? Big 12. What we got here? Tulane, Kansas State might be good. Out of conference, Baylor and UCLA. Houston, Texas Tech could be a good one. Big 10. Got a rivalry game here, Cincinnati and Miami, Ohio. Doesn't look like much else is going on. Stanford, Notre Dame, that's probably going to be a beat down, but it's for a trophy at least. Florida, Wisconsin might be a good game. Conference USA still got Missouri State, New Mexico to play. I know they were communicating. I know San Jose and UL Monroe was communicating. I think Louisiana, Wyoming was as well. So all three of those games should get played by the end of the day tomorrow. See who wins those games. MAC. Kent State's out of town, so Coastal's going to get the win here. Mountain West. Yeah, all these guys have already talked. I imagine Arkansas is going to make New Mexico State's 0-4. Pac-12, Arizona, Miami. Boise, Georgia. Oh, Boise State, Georgia could be a good one. Clemson, Colorado could be a good one. BYU, Washington State. Oregon State rivalry game. SEC. What we got here? South Carolina, Florida State. Alabama, Ole Miss. That's a good one. All right. Sun Belt. Yeah, I imagine Michigan State's probably going to win that one big. Got a computer game. Where Southern Miss. I guess with that, we'll take a look here at the power rankings. This has not been updated since games have been played, but Sky does the power rankings for me, helps me out with that. I always appreciate the help there, but got Louisiana Tech currently at the top of the board, 3-0. East Carolina, I know they lost. They're not 2-0 anymore, but they'll still be up there toward the top. Arkansas State's now 4-0. South Alabama, I think, is 4-0 maybe. Rice had one loss I know of. Yeah, so some of these are going to change, obviously. Some of them might have been a game off here and there too, but we'll get those corrected. One thing I'm noticing though is a lot of Conference USA teams up at the top. They got a lot of good records in that conference. Sun Belt's got a couple guys too. Mountain West is a lot of us are in the middle here. Max, a lot of Max at the bottom. Sun Belt's at the top and at the bottom, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, it's kind of like the Mountain West and the MAC are like similar, like on the opposite ends of 500. So again, these numbers will change. This is just how stats were as of prior to the advance. So currently Coastal's at the bottom. They're going to get the force win playing Kent State, so maybe they'll bump up a little bit. That's really about it, guys. I don't have too much more to talk about. This will be second episode of Ride or Die Live. Trying to do these at least once a week, let everybody know what's going on. So about to hit the 30-minute mark, so I appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you on the next one.